Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna, and for those of you who are new here, welcome. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be setting up the first part of January as well as my weekly spread, sort of. And if that is of interest to you, please stay tuned. Alright, so this is my Skinny Classic Happy Nietzsche Junk Bullet Journal. It sort of encompasses all of those things. I did do all of my annual spreads or my yearly spreads, the ones that are going to stay in the front here. And I will be adding to these as I go along, and it stays in the journal. What will change or get migrated out from time to time are these monthlies. Now this one I did set up already. If you're interested, I'll link the video below, where I set up the January cover page as well as determined what my word of the month was going to be. And so now there's actually 3 spreads that I wanted to work on. 3, and then start the weekly, which will be on this paper this month. So let me put this in the back. So if you've watched my junk journal, bullet journal series for the last couple of months, there were some things that I was tracking in this monthly section, and that's really because I didn't start this type until November, because I'm starting fresh for the new year in this sort of hybrid junk bullet journal. I was able to create the yearly spread. So some of the things I would typically do by way of what worked, what didn't, and there was another one. Well, anyway, I can't think of it and I don't want to look. But what I'm going to be doing is I will do my buddy read with Andy, because we are continuing to do that. I actually like to do my monthly horoscope, take a look at what it's supposed to be like for just the month of January. This is going to be my spotlight, highlight, thought of the day. And then here is going to be my thoughts into the month and my thoughts out of the month, because I would like to do a reflection that way. Although once I put this back on the rings, I'll show you something else that I'll be doing on a monthly basis. Now I chose this, and I've already actually put the numbers down because I thought I'd be using the lined paper, but there wasn't enough lines. So I'll just use the dot grid paper, because I do like to write where I can have sort of a guide. I don't need it, but especially if I'm going to be writing this much in a sequence, it's just easier for me if I have something to work with. So for this, I do like to put a monthly calendar. I think we've been using this colorful one, but that doesn't really work with our colors. The white one is all gone, and we have this yellowy one. Yeah, so I think we'll need to work with this. And that doesn't work either, so we'll make our own tab. I'll probably do that off camera though. But I do have some things out. I do want to use some of this, and the brown and the yellow actually doesn't look too bad. So let's put some of this down. Now I like using a ruler because it gives me a torn edge, which I kind of like the look of. And so I'll put this on the bottom there. And these first part, or the trackers, I guess you could call them, in the beginning part of the month will actually be pretty simple. And then when I get into the actual week pages, that's where it gets more of a junk journal aspect for me. And I'll take this one off and cut away that blue part. And I could write out the month, but I'm not really about that life if I can avoid it. And I do want to use some florals. And I didn't realize, because, you know, none of my stuff is organized. I had mentioned in my favorites that I had these 3, and then I'm going through my stuff and I found this one. So I actually have 4 different floral type stickers. And so we're going to use one of these. And I like that quote, "In a field of roses, she's a wildflower." But it's not really the colors. What is on our cover page is more of these darker pinks and fuchsias versus that lighter one. That's why I didn't think that one would work, but I think this would work. I mean, I give up that right there, but I think the colors would work well. And I'll just give it a little bit more of a definition than just this little yellow calendar. Okay. And I do want to do my buddy read, so I need to look for 5 boxes. And I think what I'll do is, really I'm just tracking what it is that I'm reading with Miss Andy, and I could do a line a day, or a line a week rather. I want to use some of my product. I don't know how much that added, but it's there now. And I think there were some labels. And I could do a focus. And I can label it Buddy Read down here. So that will be that, and then I could put a box over here for the horoscope. Now, it is the 2nd of January. I am obviously late with putting this together, but I mean, that's fine. I don't want to have this give me stress. But I do want to find a box to put there. All right, I think this one would work. We put it a bit horizontal. Although I would like to layer it with something, and that's going to be the trick, because what am I going to layer it with? Put that there. Have this go sort of like that, so we could have something come out that way. Oh, that kind of looks nice on the craft paper like that. And then we'll have one in reserve and have that come out like that. And just sort of try to eyeball this. Okay, well that was a waste of a sticker. That's what happens when you don't figure this out beforehand, which is fine. And so this is going to be let's bring some of this in. Put that there. Maybe we can put a little bit more of this down. And I know that looks super random, and I hope what I have imagined in my mind actually works out. And no, those are too close together. Put that there. Put that there. There. So let's test it out on this one. And this will be monthly horoscope, because I do a daily horoscope in the actual weekly section. That didn't come out as cute as I'd like it to, but at least now we know. So let me do some of the coloring down here, but maybe not as dark. And then I'll name this, maybe we'll use one of these. This is the Buddy Read with it's too small to use this. This is probably like a 0.1 or 1.0, and this is a 0.5. I can read it. I don't know if you guys can read it. Let me add some more of this. So from an execution standpoint, the light lined aspect would have been better here, and then the dark lined aspect would have been better here. And now I know. And that's fine. That's that done. Here we do have lots of area to play at the top and a little bit at the bottom. Okay, so I didn't find the label, but tell me that is in 7 layers of gorgeous. We're gonna use it. We're using it. We're using it. All right, so let's be strategic where we get the most of the sticker. Like that. Oh, that's gorgeous. We've got that little piece there, and that there. I think that's cute. And then we'll sacrifice this little piece right here. Now we definitely need to find a label. Let's see how this would look. Because I kind of like, oh no, I hate that. I liked the idea, hated the execution. So let's just put one of these down. Oh, yuck. All right. Because I like the idea that this is just, to me, so fancy and that's so country. But yeah, the two of them together, I wasn't a fan of. And so let's call this, I can go for spotlight, highlight, because it doesn't necessarily mean whatever I write down here is going to be good. I might have a really bad day. I don't want to really spotlight that. You know what I mean? Let's just put the thought of the day. And that can mean whatever. Thought of the day. And then we'll bring a little bit of the washi down here. And maybe, nope. No. do that little boop right there. And this little boop right next to it. I think that absolutely looks gorgeous. And these two pages next to each other look really nice too. All right, so what does bother me is this. Although I lifted up the metal underneath, so it looks a bit faded now, but that's okay. We can deal. I kind of wanna, I don't know if that'll be too much. Are we even worried about that right now? Yeah, that works. Okay, and then this is going to be thoughts in, thoughts out. And I will write to the space. And what I mean by that is if I give myself a lot of space, I'll write a lot. And if I give a little space, I won't write that much. I know. So profound. And so I think I'll do this trick where I'll cut this in half. It's pretty symmetrical. All of the leaves are different, but that might be interesting. And we'll make this as difficult as any person possibly could. And do I have it? No, I like the straight edge on the straight edge. So we've got that there. Oh, no. And then we've got this one here. Wait. Oh no, it still works. Like, oh no, I did that backwards, but it still works. That looks cute. I did cover that up a little bit, but I think I can fix that. And maybe we'll do a little bit of that and a little bit of that. Again, it comes down to one looks really fancy and posh and the other one looks very country. But maybe we won't layer them. Maybe we'll do it to the side like this, and this is where I can label it. I don't know if I mentioned, but it is the 2nd, so I will need to write this in. But that's fine. As long as I get it done this weekend, I'll have a general approximation of my reflections of coming into January. Okay, I need to be aware of how the discs go so I get this right. And I think we can bring a little bit of this. And I just like the layered look. It gives it some texture to me. And this is thoughts in. Yeah. So thoughts in and then thoughts out. Okay, so we've got that. And then I'll show you the little tiny thing I'm going to do in my weekly as of right now, and then we'll be done. Okay, so this is the page that I chose. I just chose this from one of my happy notes. I think it goes well with this. I didn't want the same paper that I used last month. There was no reason that I couldn't use it. I like this one. And I'm still using the classic that I am just folding over to fit the skinny classic size. I won't set this up quite yet. I'll probably do that off camera and I'll show you after the pen next week. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to start here, and I'm going to do it a little differently than I have been doing because I truly want this to be just the month of January. So we are going to start with Friday because Friday was the 1st. I know it seems a little bizarre. And I kind of have been liking giving myself a designated spot just because it's busy at work and there's things that I want to do after work. And so I haven't really been feeling the need to do a lot of journaling, but I do check that gauge at the beginning of every week. And so if next week I want to write more, then I will just leave it blank, because what I'm going to do off camera is see how it looks if I line this all up across like I have been doing. And then next week I'll see, do I like that? Do I want to continue that? I know it is a little bizarre to start a week off with Friday, and that's going to make every single week. How's that going to work? So if I start with Friday the 1st, then this would also have to be from Friday through the 10th. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I can't start on a stop on a Thursday. What is this nonsense? Okay, well, I may have to rethink this again. I may just have to start this on a Monday and do it on a weekly basis. Okay, yeah. On one hand, I like the thought of starting on the 1st. On the other hand, I only want to capture 7 days on here, and it just seems a little bizarre to me to stop in the middle of the week. I don't know why, but it does. So I'm going to have to think about that. So when I do the after the pen, that will determine the rest of the month. If I do truly do this as just for the month, or if it incorporates some of the previous month. How do people do this? Yay! Oh, it's already stumping me. So let's just do a quick flip through. And I did want to talk about this reflections page. So I took this, or the way that it's written down is based on a video that I've seen from Reflects by Raksha. I'll link the channel below, and she was doing an about me page in her bullet journal. And so that's what I've turned this reflections page into. And so as of the 1st of the year, what was I proud of? What am I wanting to improve? What is my wellness, and what am I grateful for? And at the end of every month, I'm going to answer these 4 questions on the end of the month reflection. And then at the end of the year, I'll look at this, I'll look at the monthlies, and then I'll probably do like a 4-page spread of what I was proud of, what I would want to improve upon, what I'm grateful for, and my wellness. And I like the idea of having a temperature gauge here, a monthly temperature gauge, and then an overall gauge at the end of the year. I think that'll look really striking. I will need to write that down here because I know that's what I want to do now, but I might not remember on a month-to-month basis. And I'll do that off camera. I've already started filling in this. I did check my numbers, and I had hit 3,600 subscribers as of the 1st. It actually rolled back to $39.99, and it's been sitting there, and that's fine. I did start off the year $23.99, and so I did gain 1,300 subscribers, so about 100 subscribers a month. I am just grateful for all of you guys just following me on this journey. And I do have some birthdays. There's one I know right off the bat, but there's another one I know it's this month. I need to write that down, and then I'll go ahead and do that on a monthly basis, and that's really the only thing that this is here for. Video ideas, that's just an ongoing thing. This continues with that. As we finish books, I will write them here, the reading progress. Maybe I'll be clever and do a bookshelf. I imagine we're not going to get many books done this year, but that's fine. It's just really about the interaction with her. If you were wondering, I had already set up the pens and the washi and the paper and the color stickers, and that's just the leftover, for January so that it looks coherent. And then we get into this here. Now these are, they're very colorful, but they're not as junk journal-y as you're going to see in this, because depending on how I start this and work this, this is going to be where I log my meals and my daily horoscope. I will do some journaling, and then I have lots of spots to do some junk journaling, collaging, and just playing with my products. That's really the part that I love on the weekly basis, but I don't necessarily need it for here because these are sort of trackers for me. I would love to know what you guys think. Do you or would you use any of the components that I've made today? And as always, aloha.